Hello everyone, today we're talking Burns night and Wild Haggis. Oh, I tell you, this wasn't a good idea. So happy Burns to you all, happy Burns night to you all. Today is the day we celebrate the life and works of Mr. Rabbie Burns. So all over Scotland tonight, and sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm climbing up a hill with a beautiful loch behind me. How nice is this? What was I saying? Oh yes, all over Scotland and all over any part of the world where, oh, that sun is glaring, isn't it? All over any part of the world where they celebrate their Scottish heritage, they are probably holding a Burns supper tonight. Burns suppers are incredibly entertaining, nice and traditional as well, with new modern traditions put into it as well a little bit. Of course, a big part of a Burns supper is having the traditional food of Haggis Neeps and Tatties. Almost fell there. Look at where I'm going for this. Look at this view here. This is the Duddingston side of Arthur's Seat right now, and if I turn right round, we've got a beautiful view of Duddingston Loch. There's Duddingston Village there, the Sheepseed Inn's there. We've already done a video about Duddingston Loch. I'll leave a link in the corner. But the reason I'm coming here is because obviously there is the traditional haggis. The traditional haggis that we all know and love. Made from sheep's intestines and lungs and boiled in the stomach and served with mashed potatoes or tatties and mashed turnips or neeps, served all together in a beautiful, beautiful dish. And obviously as well nowadays we have the vegetarian haggis, which is just as popular and also incredibly tasty. However, all of this is nowhere near as exciting as the elusive wild haggis. Now there is a difference. There is a difference. The traditional haggis is made from sheep. The wild haggis is a creature all to itself. So I thought today we would go to an area which is rumoured to have had some wild haggis in the past. At the same time, we get a chance to talk through our beautiful Burns supper and enjoy. You know, the further up I go, the better these views are just getting. It's just incredible. It's about 10:30 in the morning right now. Obviously mid to late January, and the temperature right now is not too bad. It's about 8 degrees, so really not bad at all. Before we get to, oh, it's bright, sorry guys. I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna collapse and I'm gonna fall down this hill, and that's gonna be it. If this is my last message to you all, be proud Clan Broonfords forever. Just keep it in your heart. So, a traditional Burns night happens generally on the 25th of January every year, or round about the 25th of January. Let's face it, nowadays 25th is Rabbie Burns' birthday, and traditionally it should be on the 25th, but let's face it, nowadays people tend to do things as close to a weekend as possible. Apart from, say, Christmas and New Year, any other tradition sort of goes, well, today's the day it should happen, but we're all working the next day, so we're going to push it to the weekend, which tends to happen with everything now. This looks good. Nice little bushes that the wee wild haggis could be hiding in. Oh, it's nice. A traditional Burns supper consists of various points, and there's various things that happen during it, and if you ever get the opportunity to go to a Burns supper, I highly recommend it. Even if it's just for the experience of it, then you should. And if you don't know any of Rabbie Burns' work, then it's definitely something you want to go and do. But let's set up. This is going to be jumping back and forth because I need to set up for trying to see if we can get a glimpse of the wild haggis. Now, I know this might sound a bit silly, but there are rumours going back that there did used to be wild haggis here on Arthur's Seat. Now, let's start by talking about what the wild haggis is supposed to look like. They haven't been seen for centuries, and I'm talking centuries. Apparently they're small, probably about 7 to 8 inches tall. There's a couple of different rumours. I've heard a couple of different descriptions of what they look like. Some people say that they are got 3 legs, some people say they've got 2 legs. The version I know, the description I know of them, is they have 2 legs because they live up steep hills and they like to run round the hills. So it's easier to run round a steep hill if you've got one leg shorter than the other. It makes it very easy to run round a hill. But some people say they've got 3 legs. Again though, with one leg shorter than the other and the back one more to sort of stabilise. Yeah, they haven't been seen for a long time, which is probably how it moved from the tradition, the wild haggis to eating the traditional haggis. Probably the dish was named after the traditional haggis. Don't quote me on that, I don't know. I don't know that for the fact, but possibly. So there's quite obvious things that apparently you need to lure out a little haggis to hopefully come and see us. Obviously nowadays we wouldn't eat a wild haggis. In fact, I think you would be hung, drawn in quarters if you managed to catch a wild haggis and eat it, because we haven't seen one. My camera fell over. I'm guessing that was the haggis pushing over the camera. You there? First things first, you need a whiskey. Has to be a single malt whiskey, none of this blended stuff. Has to be a single malt whiskey. I've even brought a little glass for the wee guy. Oh, that's the 18 year. He's not getting the 18 year. He can have the 12 year. Sorry, Mr. Haggis. So, what you need, apparently, to capture a haggis, like I said, is whiskey. This is, like I said, single malt 12-year whiskey. I don't know why single malt. Apparently that's just what it is. And I hope that 12 years okay. Is 12 year okay, Mr. Haggis? So we're going to pour this. I've even brought a wee glass for him. Wee bit. There we go. A wee shot of whiskey for the wee guy. Save the rest of that for me. I'll put it here. There we go. And, of course, shortbread. You have to have a wee bit of shortbread for the wee guy. So, I'll show you how I've sort of set that out for him there. There you go, see? Whiskey and shortbread. Everything you need to apparently entice a little haggis. So, while we wait, our traditional Burns night, the guests are going to be piped in. You're going to be piped into a Burns night and then you're going to be seated at your tables. There's going to be speakers and they're going to generally tell stories and recite Burns poems. Sometimes they might tell funny stories that are related to Rabbie Burns. Sometimes they just might tell funny stories. And obviously the main part of the evening is going to be the haggis, the traditional haggis. So that's why the sun was starting to blind you guys there. So far we've still got the whiskey and things, it's not been taken yet. So with that, there's lots of traditions around the haggis as well. The haggis is a beautiful dish. If you've never tried it, you have to try it. But the haggis itself is going to get piped in. The haggis will get piped in. You'll stand and pay your respects to the haggis as it comes in, and before it is served, the main speaker will do the address to the haggis. The address to the haggis was a poem written by Rabbie Burns. If you don't know it and you don't know the translation, I did a rough translation and the poem of it a couple of years ago, so check that one out again. I'll leave a link for that if you want. Video's a couple of years old now though. After that, everyone will sit and they'll enjoy their Haggis Neeps and Tatties. The order of it so far is you'll get welcomed by the host. You'll then get your food, probably starting with a soup course, traditional haggis getting piped in, and then you'll finish with a Scottish dessert, maybe cranachan. If you don't know what cranachan is, again, check out one of my older videos, and or cheese and oatcakes. It's generally sort of desserts. Obviously there'll be whiskey, but yeah, that's generally the meal part of it. I have to say, it's been a while since I've been at a good Burns supper. I can't remember actually the last time. I did used to host sort of a Scottish show, but it wasn't the same as a Burns supper. It was a bit more celebrating everything Scottish than a traditional Burns supper, but it was a lot of fun. I really missed doing it actually. It was something that hopefully in the future I'll get a chance to go back and do. They still do it. If you want to go see it, it's still on. You can still go see the same show, just not with me. After you've had your meal, it then goes more into the toasts and speeches and things. So the main speaker will do sort of the immortal memory. So it's speeches remembering the aspects of Rabbie Burns and Rabbie Burns' life and works, really. There is then an address to the lassies, which is a thank you. You have to remember the time when the Burns Supper started. It probably would be mostly men when it first started. So the address to the lassies was a thank you to the ladies for making the dinner. However, nowadays, obviously, there's women at Burns Supper all the time. So there will be an address to the lassies, possibly, a bit of banter. And now there is also the address to the laddies, the ladies' retort. So again, it'll be a little humour between the guys and girls, just for a bit gentle fun. I've had to put my jacket on, it's getting a bit cold now. So there's the basics of a Burns Supper. Obviously you know the traditional haggis, we've spoken about that before when we went to visit. We spoke about that before. It's just a shame that apparently the rumours of some wild haggis still living on Arthur's Seat are no longer, because I've been sitting here for a while now and I have seen neither hide nor hair of any wild haggis. The whiskey and the shortbread is still there. The whiskey and the shortbread's not there. That's kinda exciting. I don't know if that's proof or not of wild haggis here. Definitely proof that something's taken whiskey and shortbread from me when I wasn't looking. I've no idea where it could be. I mean, that's kind of exciting though. That's you don't know what to say. That's kind of cool. We failed to catch a glimpse in any way of a wild haggis. However, that doesn't mean we can't go try some traditional haggis. So I think we'll just leave these wild haggis to living on Arthur's Seat, and we'll go get some real haggis.
Thank you. Bye, human.
So we didn't catch sight of a wild haggis. However, that doesn't mean we can't get... I'm so sorry, I'm walking in front of people there. That doesn't mean we can't get a little traditional haggis, and I've came to the Grass Market to go to the haggis box. Now obviously you guys know the haggis box was on the Royal Mile, but right now they've moved to this old phone booth, this old police box. So if any of you are wanting to try some haggis from the haggis box, you come at the Grass Market just now, guys. So here we are at the haggis box with Pete. For those of you who don't know, this is Pete. Say hi, Pete.
Hello there.
So Pete's obviously going to give us some lovely traditional haggis. Very different from a wild haggis. You know about the wild haggis.
I know about the wild haggis. I've seen a couple in my time. Yeah.
Very, very lucky man, because we failed. Yeah. We failed. But so Pete's going to show us a lovely traditional haggis.
Fantastic. So we're going to start off with the tatties. Just a nice Scottish word for mashed potato. We add some nice cream and butter into this to make it lovely and tasty.
Oh, lovely.
Next up we've got the neeps, which is a Scottish word for Swedes. So you got the nice orangey colour with a bit of turmeric in there. And then finally, this is the famous haggis.
Oh, I can smell it. That's beautiful.
On top, here we go. And to finish it off, I'm going to give you a bit of our famous whiskey and mustard sauce.
Oh, lovely.
Using Auchentoshan whiskey from Glasgow.
Look
there we go.
at that.
And finally, a little bit of Scottish greenery on the top there to make it look pretty.
Beautiful. Beautiful, my friend.
And there we go. Haggis Neeps and Tatties.
Very much. Look at that beauty right there. Here we go, see now this. If you can't go and find a wild haggis, this is definitely the way to go. Oh my god, that's lovely. Just in case you didn't know as well, the haggis box over this weekend is doing a pay it forward. So if you come down to the haggis box over Burns weekend, you buy a haggis and you recite some Burns poetry, the haggis box will pay it forward to people who need food. So make sure you come down, get some haggis from them this weekend and help those who need a little bit of help. Guys, I think we will leave it there as I sit and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful haggis. Thank you all as always. If you want to follow us on any social media, here is our social media handles, and as always guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. But until next time, bye humans.